Hello folks, welcome to the new podcast of Kiwi QA where we'll discuss about a few tips on how to improve ROI in test automation. Today, we have James who is an automation expert with us. He has more than 5 years of experience in automation testing. He will guide us how we can improve our ROI in automation.
Hello Andrew, thanks for the intro. First of all, I want to share that automation testing initiatives are expensive, and bug detection cost is very high. But, still there are 85% of the increase in test automation has been found since last year.
85%. Well, that's really huge. Can you tell me something more?
Sure, let me share a few tips with you. Number 1. Figure out what you need to automate. To improve ROI, you need to decide and identify what must be automated. Otherwise, it will be difficult to achieve the desired output. Therefore, you need to consider some factors like test environment, an application under testing, hardware dependence, impacts, etc. You can utilize a testing approach which is risk-based to determine the test which needs to be automated. Number 2. Task prioritization and division. Once you determine which test you need to automate, you can prioritize and divide tests. By doing so, you can figure out the desired outcome with test automation, and accordingly, you must plan the next actions. You can also club complex tasks according to the priority level, and when prioritization is over, you can jump onto task division. You must divide such that it meets the timeline that is expected. It is also evident that all the members are not equally skilled, so you must draft a new plan to identify beneficial test cases. Third tip. Prepare test cases. Before you jump onto test automation, identify the test cases and scenarios. It helps to understand the execution time for each test, and you can also identify defects. This way, you can also identify application workflow, which can be automated. Otherwise, you can miss it if you go only for known workflows and test scenarios. Fourth one. Test creation without affecting UI changes. People usually create keyword-based tests and scripts that changes with functional aspects and UI. In this case, your test scripts might not work with the successive version of applications. Therefore, you must create a test in such a way that it does not affect changes in UI. It can be done by locating UI objects and properties and identifying them. You can also provide unique names for controls to make it stable. Tip number 5. Ensure the quality of test data. For test automation to be successful, you need to ensure the quality of test data. You must focus on data size to make it optimal with relevant information. You can separate and combine data into various categories like invalid, valid, boundary condition, etc. You also must ensure that the testing is updated periodically for accurate results.
Wow! I am sure these tips will be really useful for automation testers. Any other tips you want to share?
Yes. One more thing. Pay attention to testing infrastructure. You must use tools, techniques, and frameworks that are suitable for a specific test scenario and application. You can utilize techniques like black box testing, white box testing, exploratory testing, state transition testing, etc. You can use the right tools and frameworks like reporting, test management, analytics, and bug tracking, etc. to help you. The right automation testing company helps test team to work at an accelerated speed and contributes towards a positive ROI. One last thing. Periodic review and maintain your tests. To identify test validity, you must review the test data periodically. It helps you to understand outdated and unnecessary tests that are irrelevant. It also helps to reduce costs and efforts of maintenance. It will also leave a long-term effect on your project of test automation. You can also utilize test automation machinery that consists of reusable test cases and plans, smaller test cases, identifying testing suite maintenance, etc. It can help you to maintain your tests. It also keeps your test automation suite to be relevant for longer periods. Hope these all tips will be helpful for you guys.
Thank you so much, James, for all the tips. I really appreciate that you give us your valuable time. Well, that's the end of this podcast, folks. Hope you have enjoyed the podcast. By considering each of these tips, you will be able to increase ROI in test automation. Kiwi QA Services is an India-Australia-based quality-focused and knowledge-centric QA firm. Kiwi QA Services offers a wide range of testing solutions and services across industry domains, with a primary focus on risk management and implementable solutions. We have over 100+ years of experience in providing testing services such as testing consultancy, test automation, specialized testing services and managed testing services. Visit www.kiwiqa.com for more information. Have a good time ahead, we'll come up with a new podcast soon. Thank you.